everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are celebrating 1 year on YouTube. Thank you guys for sticking with me and growing along with me and just helping be my inspiration and creativity for my channel. So today, usually people celebrate with cake, so my inspiration was like a chocolate raspberry cake. So that's what we got going on today with a little bit of gold. So if you all want to see that, then keep on watching. And to get started, I'm just taking a little bit of the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. And I will be going in with the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation in the shade Light Ivory. Now, one thing I've also learned within my year of YouTube, that it is okay to mix drugstore and high-end products. You don't have to have a full face of the latest makeup with the most expensive foundation. Wet n Wild is still a very good foundation. Yes, I love my NARS. Yes, I love Too Faced and Urban Decay. But you know, this is still a pretty good foundation. Good coverage, good color. Taking now my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Neutral. Putting that under the eye. Down the nose. Anywhere that needs a little extra coverage. And on the chin. And just taking a damp beauty blender. Simply blending in that concealer. And another thing that I wanted to mention, you want to have, yes, a damp beauty blender, because if you have it dry, then what you put on your face, the foundation and concealer and whatnot, they absorb into the sponge, since it is a sponge. But you don't want it sopping wet, or else that's just gonna break up your foundation and your concealer. So you have to find the happy middle there. As long as you can squeeze it and no water comes out and it doesn't feel too dry, then I believe you've got it. Alrighty, to set that all in place, I am taking my Lancome setting powder, which I absolutely love this. It just feels like velvet. It goes on so well. It's not clumpy. I've had setting powders that can get clumpy, and that's not good. So, and I also love the little facial beauty powder puff that they give you. It's so cute. So you just really want to put that where we put the concealer. Just giving that a little extra attention. And since we're baking that, just taking a little bit more powder for the rest of the face and a fluffy facial brush here. And just lightly pressing that in. And for brows, I am taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. You always want to use the spoolie just to help dust out that powder and to get things in place. And then you want to brush up, because that will give you your guidelines for your natural kind of eyebrows, where to really fill it in and line it. And for me, you just want to draw from the tip, just go straight. Same with the top. Once you reach that arch, then go down. And then just kind of using upward strokes, just lightly filling that in. Also using the spoolie, it just really helps blend it to the natural shape and color, so you don't have any harshness. And just taking a large clean fluffy brush here and just wiping away the excess powder. Now that that is all set, we can go in now with bronzer, and I am taking the Too Faced Sun Bunny Natural Bronzer. Also, very lightly taking that along with a small fluffy brush, just going down the sides of the nose. And that just helps give some definition and contour to the nose. And blending that out, I'm taking my Tarte Goddess Glam palette, and I am taking the blush shade here, Supreme, and just lightly going on with that. And for highlight, I just wanted to accentuate the gold in here, so I am taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amarezzi highlighter. This is probably my favorite high-end highlighter. For a drugstore, I really like the Physicians Formula, and let me show you here. This is the Physicians Formula. This one is in the shade Pearl. I absolutely love this one. It goes on so smoothly. And the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in the shade Blossom Glow. These two are my favorites. They are wonderful. And now that the face is done, we can move on to the eyes. Alrighty, so I have primed my lids off camera using the Ulta Eye Primer in Champagne. And since this is a chocolate raspberry gold look, I am taking the Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced, and I'm just going to be setting that with white chocolate. And warming that up with salted caramel. And now going in with the shade and a bit of a smaller brush, going in with the shade Semi-Sweet, and just using that to really just kind of darken up that crease. And then taking my Soft Glam palette. As you can see, this has seen a lot of love. I also busted it when I went on vacation, but the colors are still good. So I'm taking a very small amount of Cypress Umber, and you really want to take a small amount because this is a very pigmented palette. We are just darkening up that outer corner, and I'm just kind of blending the edges. And I'm just taking my Modern Renaissance palette and taking the shade Love Letter and just putting that on our finger and just lightly tapping that on. It is a darker burgundy than a raspberry shade, I would say. So I am going to put on a lighter shade on top of that. Don't be afraid to mix your eyeshadows, guys, because it is a lot of fun. Once that has been nicely blended, going back with the Soft Glam palette and going in with the shade Rose Pink and lightly tapping that on top. And as you can see, that creates a lovely shimmery raspberry color. And for the bottom lash line, going back in with the Chocolate Bar palette, and am taking the shade Semi-Sweet and running that all across the bottom. I'll do the other eye off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, so off camera I did the other eye and I popped on some wings using the Tarte Precision Longwear Liner. And for my waterline, I'm just popping in the Marc Jacobs Highliner in the shade Marigold. And like I've said, I was just really inspired to create this celebratory look after like a nice chocolate raspberry cake. And you know, sometimes the real fancy ones have some gold leafing. So that's what I'm doing with the gold here. And going back with the Soft Glam palette, I am taking the shade Tempera and just highlighting the brows. Once again, we do this to give the brows a little extra lift, and it also kind of cleans up the shadow there. And of course, like I said with the gold, I'm going in with the shade Fairy and just putting that in the inner tear duct. And I'm really excited to try this new mascara. It is the L'Oreal Voluminous in the shade Burgundy. So I wanted to go something a little different than black lashes. And I know since I have very, very dark lashes, it's very hard for colored mascaras to go on and really show. But why not? I love this. This really gives that little bit of extra dimension, and it actually, I can see the color on this. I mean, it wouldn't be as bold and dramatic as it would maybe on somebody with like lighter lashes, such as a blonde or redhead, so on and so forth, but I think this actually shows up pretty well, and I really, really like this. This one, new favorite. As always, just taking my Peach Blur blurring powder and lightly tapping that on. And for lips, we are going with a nice raspberry, so I'm taking the Tarteist lip paint in the shade Love Spell. As you can see, that is just a very lovely shade, and I really, really love the Tarte lip products. They are always amazing. This one is a little bit of an older formula. I have some new ones, as you can see, little bit of a difference. I mean, obviously these aren't the same shade, but the packaging is a little different. I really like the gold band around that, and the formula I would say is a little bit better. The older ones do seem to be a little bit drier. They are matte. And speaking of finishing, we are almost done here, so I'm taking the Urban Decay All Nighter and just setting that all in place. Thank you guys so much for just being such a wonderful audience and just wonderful subscribers, always at it with your positivity and just celebrating 1 year with me on YouTube. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for all your support and fun, and really it's you guys that keep this channel going. So, if y'all liked this chocolate raspberry gold look, then don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the social media shout out down below. My social media links are there as well. Love you guys. Bye!